The name of this lesson is How to Explain the Long Career Break. Have you ever been in a situation that seemed unfortunate in the moment, but days or months later you understood it had been for the best? Maybe you missed a flight because of bad traffic going to the airport, then discovered later that the plane had crashed. Or you went out to dinner and the entree you wanted was sold out, then the next day you heard from someone who ate the entree that they got food poisoning. Things happen for a reason, and your long career break is one of them. What's important is not that you took time away from your career, but how you present that absence, and here's how to do it. In this lesson, we will discuss 3 simple things you should do when explaining long gaps between jobs. 1. Give a clear and concise explanation why. 2. Explain what you learned and how it will benefit you in this position. And 3. Say why you are looking forward to this job or company. Point number 1 is to give a clear and concise explanation why. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone who seemed very nervous or uncomfortable about the subject you were discussing? Because they were nervous, they probably babbled on, which of course only made them look more nervous and ill at ease. The discussion about your long career break can do the same thing to you if you're not prepared. You should have nothing to hide or feel guilty about, so don't go into long, in-depth explanations. Just give a clear, concise explanation that tells why you weren't working during that period of time. For example, if you took 3 years off when you had children, you would simply say, "I took 3 years off to take care of my children." Or if you were laid off and it took months or years to find a new job, you could say, "I've been looking for a position that matched my skills and aspirations during this time, but due to the recession, opportunities have been limited." Keep focused, look them squarely in the eyes, and simply state what happened without going into long explanations. If you appear okay with it, the interviewer will too. Point number 2 is explain what you learned and how it will benefit you in this position. Have you ever tried to leave a party and got roped into a long, extended conversation? You kept looking at the clock, thinking how many hours of sleep you would lose when suddenly an old friend arrives. Seeing your friend becomes the highlight of your night, but if you had left earlier, you would have missed them. Most likely there are highlights from your long career break that will benefit you and the company, and you need to understand and be able to explain them. Think of any changes you made, skills you acquired, or experiences you had that might be able to help you with the company. Maybe you got into better physical shape, or spent a lot of time with your family and children, or learned a new spoken language, or even traveled to a new country. Any of these can be beneficial to your new potential employer, and you should point this out. For example, if you were in better shape, you might say, "During this period I was able to dramatically improve my fitness, which I believe will help my endurance and creativity at work, as well as my ability to handle stress." If you learned a new language, you might say, "During this period, I was able to learn how to speak Spanish, which might help my future employer explore opportunities in Mexico or South America." You need to be okay with the time you took off, and that should come across in your answer. Even if you do not initially feel you used the time wisely, reflect on it, and you will probably be able to find something that can have a positive benefit. Whatever you do, don't dwell on explaining the career gap in your CV. Give 1 or 2 examples of what you learned and move on, which brings us to point number 3. Point 3 is to say why you are looking forward to this job or company. Have you ever been in a conversation with someone that turned to politics and you quickly discovered you held wildly different beliefs? If the conversation turned ugly, maybe you tried to talk about something more positive but couldn't shift the conversation away from politics. Talking about your long career break can be similar. You need to be able to redirect the interview towards topics that highlight why you are right for the job. Once you've communicated the 1 or 2 things you learned during the long career break that could benefit you and the company, you should redirect the interview by making a statement about the future. In the statement, mention something that you read about in this job posting or on the company website that ties into your skills and experience, and express your interest in the position. For example, "Can I tell you I got really excited when reading the job posting because it will give me an opportunity to use my customer service experience." Or, "Your website indicates that one of the company's business objectives is to expand into South America. That got me interested because I'm fluent in Spanish." Being able to swiftly and effortlessly redirect the conversation from your long career break to your future with the company and why they should hire you is the key. So to recap, if you end up talking with an interviewer about a long career break, remember to, first, give a clear and concise explanation why. Second, explain what you learned and how it will benefit you in this position. And third, Say why you're looking forward to this job or company. If you do this, you should have no problem smoothing out any kinks in your CV.